Let me show you a chart of how much money has been spent on green energy just since 2017. Okay, and the reason I'm showing you just from 2017 is because it comes from a very reputable source, right? So before 2017, I'm sure that we were spending a lot of taxpayer money on green energy, but let me show you this chart right here. Take a look at this. Where is it from? Look at that. It's from the WEF, the World Economic Forum. And here it says renewable energy investing is rising, and that is a great thing, that the investment in renewable energies by governments that take the money that they have from taxpayers, from the people that they're supposed to represent, it's rising because that can only lead to good things, right? Well, let's go ahead and add up what we've spent, and this is as a world, it's not just one nation, but what we've spent on green energy since only 2017. Right here, this is in billions of dollars. So for each of these, is like this 2000 is 2 trillion. So let's just call this 2, okay? 2 in 2017, 2 in 18, 2 in 19. Let's go ahead and average this up. 2 in 2020, about 2.2, 2.3 in 21, and in 22, 2.4. So we're looking at almost $9 trillion that has been invested in green energy since the year 2017. Well, what have we gotten for that money, ladies and gentlemen? What have the taxpayers of the world? Now, $9 trillion is a pretty good amount. It's almost 10% of the world GDP, the gross domestic product. So that's almost 10%. That's a pretty big investment. It's almost like saying that you went ahead and spent 10% of your annual income. Let's say you make 100 grand a year. Let's just say that you spent 10% of that on solar panels. Let's just say. Well, for that 10% of your annual income that you spend on solar panels, you would think that maybe you would be getting something more out of it. That maybe you'd be using less electricity, you'd be using less oil, less gas, or anything like that. Now, this is what I want to show you, and it's why it's so important that you do your own research. You hear me say this on almost every one of my videos. Do your own research. Do your own research. Why? Because you're not going to be told the truth until you look for it. When you look for it, you can find it, but you're not going to be told it by some mainstream pundit or some government pundit that's trying to keep his job for the next election and trying to become a multi-millionaire on $174,000 a year salary. All right, I hope that you agree with me at least on that part. I want to show you this chart right here that to me says it all. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the daily demand for crude oil worldwide from 2006 to 2020 with a forecast all the way out to 2026. Now take a look at 2017. Let's just go to 2017. So 2017, our daily demand for crude oil worldwide was 97.9 million barrels per day. 2017. And look at the trend. Now here, 2020, it went down to 91. We all know that in 2020, pretty much every darn country in the world, with the exception of a few maybe, they did not lock down. So there was a lot less oil consumption, let's say, because most countries locked down. So people weren't driving, a lot of businesses were locked down, etc., less consumption. Energy is the economy. So the lesser that there is of an economy, the less energy you're going to use. But I want to reflect on 2 years. 2022, 99.4 million barrels per day. Now let's go back to 2017, 97.9 million barrels per day. We have increased our use of oil as a world after investing as a world since 2017 almost $10 trillion in green energy. How is it that we can invest that much money in green energy and be using more oil? Is it because green energy is working, or is it because it's not working? Now that's just a question that I'm putting out there. So ask yourselves, for all of these countries that have carbon taxes, for this ESG thing that's going on, that was pushed down from the United Nations onto our corporations, our banks, and now even our government, do you really think that all of the money that they are extracting from the world's citizens is actually helping people use less oil, when this clearly shows that we're using more, and they are predicting that we will use even more in the years to follow? That is my question. Please think for yourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, this is nothing but a hoax. My opinion and my opinion alone. If you can't see that you are able to get less for your dollars or whatever currency it is, fiat currency, that you use in whatever country you're in, if you cannot see that you can now get less for the same number of hours that you've worked, it's because of this right here. Because you are being extracted of your wealth for something that is not working, like this. It is obviously not working. It's right there in your face. But people still think about, oh wow, we have to save the planet. If you did not watch my first video this morning, watch that video, because it is a prelude to this video right here. On that video, I pretty much showed you that all of this climate lockdown and stuff that they want to do, that it is also a fox. That the only thing that it is doing is that it is extracting your wealth, and it is also encouraging governments to get even more tyrannical than what they already are. But AP, we don't live in a tyrannical government, really. In a country that's supposed to be the freest country in the nation, the United States of America, where there are over 300,000 laws in the books, federal, state, local. You think that is not tyrannical? 300,000 laws, ladies and gentlemen. And now that they've got us where they want us with all of these laws that they pass, and we have to fight every single day, fight and fight and fight just to keep our basic freedoms, now they've got us in our pocketbooks. Now they've got us in our wallets, because they've been stealing this money for all of this time, and now you can see for yourself that it's not doing what they said it was going to do. I hope that you take a look at this. I'll leave the link to both of these charts so you can go look at it for yourself. And if you haven't watched the first video I put out today, go watch that video, because it shows you that climate change is just a tool that is being used against you. It is a tool that is being used in order to keep you in line according to what they want you to do. Who's they? You can answer that question for yourself if you're old enough. Having said that, have a great day. I might have another video out today or not, but we'll see. God bless every one of you. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. I'm Alaska Prepper, and I'm out. God bless America.
Nutrient Survival isn't just survival food. It's special ops grade. Built to the nutritional standards of the U.S. Special Ops and packed with 40 essential nutrients. Formulated to sustain energy, sharpen focus, and keep you and your family thriving during any emergency. Real food, real ingredients.